So I get up, I throw everything in my bag, brush my teeth, splash some water on my face. I'm like trying to exit out of the hotel. Luckily, the hotel is like, attached to the airport. So I just have to like go down the escalator, run across the TSA and then try to get into my flight. Now, problem, I have a checked bag.
5 shows made 3 million a week. You are now looking at the bestie elite. You are now looking at the bestie elite. You are now looking at the best.
Hey there, bestie. Welcome to the summer sessions. Live life with me and learn something on the way. So, just like the title says, I'm done traveling as a model. Yes, this might come as some surprise, but hang in there. It's all gonna make sense. So, while I am packing up to leave, okay, this was my, last day for this travel job. So you guys are going to be seeing exactly what it looks like, from the morning routine to me packing, to me getting on the airplane, to me literally taking off. But this, as calm as it looks, is great deceit, because I need you guys to understand what I went through in the last 24 hours before what you're seeing in front of you, okay? I had one of like the most anxiety inducing days 24 hours before this, okay? Now, the funny part is I did very much so almost the same thing you see me doing here, right? I was laying down, I was, going through my morning routine, making sure like my family knew like, hey, getting ready to come home. Anybody want to pick me up from the airport? Because I don't have my car right now because it's at the car shop. So it can be worked on while I'm out of town, I was getting everything coordinated, right? And lo and behold, I get a text message. And it's the equivalent of setting up a hair appointment and the hairstylist hitting you with a hey boo the morning of. The airline had to inform me that they'd canceled my flight. And they gave me some options of flights that I could take. Unfortunately, in my brain, I was hit with you're never getting home, okay? We're gonna tell you right now, you're stuck there, okay? What happened following that text message was nothing short of pure chaos and a heart rate double what it should be for the next, I would say, at least 48 hours. I see the next available flight is leaving out at 10 a.m. At this point, it's probably around like 7, 8 a.m., right? I get up, nothing is packed, okay? Nothing is packed because I was supposed to be leaving that afternoon. So I get up, I throw everything in my bag, brush my teeth, splash some water on my face. I'm like trying to exit out of the hotel. Luckily, the hotel is like, attached to the airport. So I just have to like go down the escalator, run across the TSA and then try to get into my flight. Now, problem, I have a checked bag. And anybody who knows anything about flying, right? If you have a checked bag, baggage closes well before your gate closes. So if your bag isn't on there by a certain time, you literally are not getting on the plane. Like they'll tell you to go see a gate attendant. And so here I am trying to check in my bag, can't check in my bag, go to see the gate attendant. They're just like, oh, you're not gonna make that flight. And then they keep trying to like bounce, they're trying to find a flight pattern that will get me into an airport back home. Mind you, there are 3 airports that are international airports in my area. They could have picked any of them, but they were dead set on trying to get me to one specific airport. Now, the reason I'm mentioning this is because my other like people who were like models and production and crew that were working on this, that were going to be meeting me back in Miami, half of them had gone like in the morning, first flight out, like 6 in the morning. The other half were going to go like 8 p.m. like me. I was scrambling. So I'm sitting there, I'm just like, okay, are any of your flights going anywhere in that area? And they're like, well, we can send you to DC, and then from DC, you should be able to get that connecting flight to take you back to your home. And I'm just like, okay, but like, is there no direct flight? Because like, doing connections, again, if you know anything about connectings, you miss it, you missed it. You missed it, you missed it. So they say, hey, we have a flight that's leaving in like the next like 30 minutes. Do you think you can make that? And I'm just like, yeah, I'm like fast, I can run. I don't realize this airport is very much so like the Atlanta airport, where you have to get on a train to get to your actual gate. So it's not enough for me to just run. I have to run, okay? Run, get to the train, get on the train, have the train take me to the gate, get off the train, find the gate, and then get on the plane. I have to do that in 30 minutes. That's what I have to do in 30 minutes. Not to mention, I still have to get through TSA. Yeah, I didn't make that flight. You see this amazing photo of me right here? You see how cute I look? You see the lighting and everything like that? I was in shambles. 24 hours before this photo. And what ended up happening is, mind you, all of the production is in the air. And I have to like wait till they land to be like, hey, my flight got canceled. They put me on another flight. That flight left without me. I'm just stuck in the airport. And it was at that point that she was like, okay, you have to call the actual airline. You have to get all this sorted out. I was panicking. I was just panicking. In that moment of panic, the wardrobe stylist reached out to me. She was like, hey, did your flight get canceled too? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, oh, let's meet up. I was just like, what? And so, mind you, I've worked with this wardrobe stylist on many a shoot, but this is what really brought us closest together. We met up, we got some lunch, okay? And she sat down and she really walked me through how to go about this when you're on a SAG job. So she is union, I'm eligible. Okay, if you're a model, you don't have to be union. There is no union for models. But because this job was going to be broadcast in a certain way, I personally, got booked for a SAG job. So that's why I'm flying first class. That's why they're doing the per diem. They are flying us in a day early. They're paying for the hotel. They're doing everything because this is union. So they have to legally. That's what all these strikes and everything were about. Okay, that and, how AI plays into everything as well as streaming. So, we meet up, we have lunch, and she walks me through how they're going to extend, like how to get them to extend my hotel room so I have a place to stay, how I'm going to set up another flight and it's going to be billed to them, and then how to go about claiming my extra per diem, etc., etc. And so I literally got delayed a day with the only other person who actually knew what to do in the situation. So that for me, I was done after that point. I was just like, take me home, keep me home. I'm good. Because had this not been a SAG job, I would have had to do all that on my own volition. And could I have done it? Yes, I could have. But the amount of anxiety I had of the crushing weight of me not being able to get back home was like overwhelming. Mind you, this was the talk of the town when we started to film the Miami half of this job. And the craziest thing about it is that my other like model friend who I've been doing all these like travels and trips with while we were in this city, she got home that day at 8:00, unlike me, because she just flew into a different airport back home. Thank you guys for coming to my TED Talk. This has been Summer Sessions. Thanks for living life with me and learning something along the way. Catch you on the next one.